It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag. Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag. Real settle, I done crept up, homie, I stepped up. Froze the neck up, my chase up, homie. Curveballs got me hitting sliders. Pinning hits like pinatas. It's a message in the cuts like stigmata. Yeah, we been in them corners night to the morning. Ay, crossing over through the borders. Ay, new chick, she imported. Ay, green sand when I'm in the beach, boy, I stay dripping like water. Ay, private chef cooking up the plate, came a long way from that porch. I'm the artist, I'm the writer, I'm the publisher. Bitch, I'm an author, got more drive than a Thunderbird. I'm a leader, put my people on the hella work. Play me, I be rocking your skull like I'm the Punisher. Still got it, still bad it. Your lady hanging off the kielbasa. Bill pasta, I'm entertaining in my Villa Casa. Been a monster, but need the profit. I forgot me till I popped up on them like Team Rocket.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well this Tuesday evening. In this particular show, we're going to be getting into Jay-Z and Roc Nation. It looks like there is a new lawsuit that has been issued against Jay-Z and Roc Nation from Tony Buzbee. This is not associated with the same case that we're talking about in New York, which is the one with the Jane Doe, the alleged SA that happened in 2000. That supposedly happened in 2000. Let me be more clear. This is in Texas, talking about Jay-Z, Roc Nation allegedly harassing him, his team, sending out fake agents or people acting like state officials, etc. And it looks like Tony Buzbee is requesting in the upwards of $25 million. Now, I'm going to be honest. This looks like a press play. This does not look like something that will be deemed, valid in court. But I do think he is trying to do everything he can from a legal standpoint to make Jay-Z look bad in the court of public opinion, opening up further lawsuits, putting harsh allegations on his name and things of that nature. It just tarnishes his image, makes him uncomfortable because clearly Jay-Z has come out and made it abundantly clear that the things that Tony Buzbee and his folks are putting on his name are costing him money, costing him anguish, costing him, money that, not money, but just, causing harm to his reputation. The fact that he even has to come out and answer to these things when Jay-Z is not known for speaking very often in a public forum. And I think Tony Buzbee is like, I'm just going to keep pressing your buttons. I'm going to keep doing what I can to make you look bad. I'm going to lie on you. I'm going to say what I need to say until you give up, right? You're going to settle with me one way or another. You're going to break bread with me if by hook or by crook. That's how this comes across to me. Because what I did not know, but I found out earlier today, is that Tony Buzbee had already sued Roc Nation in the state of Texas last year. And they were trying to put some sort of restraining order on Jay-Z and Roc Nation, to which the judge was not fucking with it. The judge was like, get this shit out my face. Okay. And I only found out about it because when I was looking for this case, that one came up originally. And I was like, what the hell is that? Judge said, fuck out of here. So now they've created an amended complaint requesting 25 mil. Let's get into it because I ain't got a lot of time. All right, this is newly filed paperwork that was just sent in yesterday from the Buzbee law firm plaintiff versus Quinn Emanuel, Urquhart, and Sullivan. And of course, that is the legal representation working with Jay-Z and Roc Nation, right? So they say plaintiff's first amended petition. Plaintiff, the Buzbee law firm, files this first amended petition against defendants Quinn Emanuel, Urquhart, Sullivan, LLP, Christina Cess, Lex Intelligence LLC, never heard of them. Marcy Bryan Croft, MJ Legal. We've talked about Marcy Bryan Croft, and they allege that she is the one sending out people door to door, allegedly offering money to Tony Buzbee's former clients, etc., to harass them. Rock Nation LLC here, Jessica Santiago, seeking damages and respectfully shows this honorable court the following. Okay, they say this case arises out of an outrageous litigation gamesmanship by the defendants. Specifically, defendants have conspired to obstruct justice and tortiously interfere with the firm's business by engaging shadowy operatives. That's an interesting one. Shadowy operatives. That's some TV show shit. To illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients of the firm to convince or bribe those clients to bring frivolous cases against the firm. In some cases, defendants' agents pretend to work for the state of Texas and have flashed fake badges. In at least one case, defendants' agents offered as much as $10,000 to a former client of the Buzbee law firm to sue. Beyond these criminal actions, defendants also have engaged in a campaign of misinformation by spreading defamatory rumors about the firm to the firm's former and current clients, again to harm the firm's reputation and its business relationships. Soliciting clients is a crime in the state of Texas. Paying individuals to file false claims is unethical and criminal in the state of Texas. However, Tony Buzbee has literally made a career off of doing those exact same things, and he has people that have literally said he paid them to file cases. They won and didn't even receive the money on the back end. I'll continue. They say impersonating a state official is also a crime. Unfortunately for the defendants, their agents are not very smart or careful. Their agents were caught on audio tape red-handed, not knowing they were being recorded. Defendants' agents admitted that defendant Marcy Croft, a licensed Texas lawyer and member of Team Rock, was orchestrating the effort. I find it interesting that y'all say audio tape if y'all got it on Ring camera footage, that y'all say it should be more than audio, it should be video. I find that to be suspicious. And we know it's Ring camera footage because Tony Buzbee has literally come out on social media multiple times and said that's what he has. I'll continue. In other instances, phone numbers used by the investigators were traceable back to defendant Lex Intelligence. What is now unmistakably clear is that multiple defendants acted in concert to pursue an all-out campaign to disrupt and undermine the firm. This illegal and tortious campaign against the firm is in direct response to and retaliation for the firm's pursuit of claims against Sean Jay-Z Carter, whose interests all defendants ultimately represent. Defendant Rock Nation is financing the effort against the firm. Rock Nation and Jay-Z are synonymous. Jay-Z is founder and chairman of Rock Nation. Rock Nation's attorneys Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel are orchestrating the effort, and the boots on the ground investigators are working at the direction of one or more of these defendants. Now, I had some legal people tell me that sending out private investigators is not illegal, which of course, if it was, then there wouldn't be a profession for PIs. But I find it interesting that Tony Buzbee is fighting out or hitting out against the private investigators, saying that they're doing illegal activity. At the same time, the illegal conduct described herein continues. The firm is pursuing claims on behalf of at least one client against Jay-Z in New York federal court. As a result of that client's claims, Jay-Z sued the Buzbee law firm in Los Angeles State Court. Defendant Quinn Emanuel, who represents Jay-Z in both cases and who also frequently represents Rock Nation, denied in open court and in the press that it had any involvement in the scheme described herein, but that denial was a bold-faced lie. The illegal effort described here, while Rock Nation is funding and which defendants Croft and Quinn Emanuel are orchestrating, is intended to interfere with the Buzbee law firm's ability to represent its clients and conduct its business in general. Defendant's scheme is summarized in the following recording transcript. This is the same quote that we've been seeing in other instances. What we're trying to do is we're trying to put this thing together for the company that we're working for. We could get you paid. You could get money right now soon, you know. We gave this kid $1,000 to start yesterday just to get him on the right path. At the end of the day, this is going to go through the courts. Buzbee is getting sued. They've been talking about this same weak ass quotation for nearly 3 months now. See Exhibit 4, page 6, offering payments to bring meritless lawsuits because the defendants believe that with enough pressure, the firm will simply cave. Defendants have a long history of this type of abusive and egregious conduct described herein. Because they have gotten away with it for so long, defendants think they can come down to Texas and do whatever they choose with impunity. They are wrong. Plaintiff is a law firm and resident of Texas and Harris County. Defendant Quinn Emanuel Urquhart Sullivan LLP. We're not going to go through all this shit, where they're located and all that shit. Venue and jurisdiction. Venue is proper in Harris County, Texas, pursuant to Section 15002A1 of the Texas Civil Practices and Remedies Code, because all or substantial part of the events or omissions give rise to the claims occurred in Harris County, Texas. The court has subject matter jurisdiction because the amount in controversy is within the jurisdictional limits of this court. Plaintiff seeks damages in excess of $25 million. Yikes! Plaintiff intends to conduct discovery under Level 3 of Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 190.4 and affirmatively pleads that this suit is not governed by the expedited actions process in Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 169 because plaintiff requests injunctive relief and plaintiff seeks monetary relief over $100,000. Okay? This filing is supporting by the following evidence, which is attached and incorporated herein. So they claim that they have a transcript of defendant Jessica Santiago and Gerardo Garcia. They say they have transcript of defendant's agent and Skylar Taylor, affidavit of Skylar Taylor. And I think these are all his people. Other than Jessica Santiago and Gerardo, I guess the defendant's agent, Skylar Taylor. But we'll get to all that shit. So they say facts. The firm's representation of clients against Diddy and Jay-Z. So now they go into the history of this whole Jay-Z, Diddy, SA ordeal, which we've talked about in detail for 2 months now. Not going to waste time going through that here. They say shortly after the two bogus lawsuits were filed against Mr. Buzbee and the firm, persons representing themselves as researchers, investigators, and in some cases attorneys began contacting a wide array of people associated with the firm. Sometimes these persons identified themselves as working for defendant Lex Intelligence. I'm guessing that would be the private investigation company, or as having been hired by defendant Quinn Emanuel, or the phone numbers used for the contact were associated with Lex Intelligence. In other cases, the investigators stated that they were affiliated with defendant Marcy Croft and MJ Legal. On information and belief, all of those researchers, investigators, attorneys, and other persons were working on behalf of and at the behest of at least one, if not all, defendants. The investigators and attorneys contacted all of the following categories of people: former employees of the firm, former clients, current clients, witnesses in cases handled by the firm, family members of Mr. Buzbee, and employees of the firm and other third parties associated with the firm or Mr. Buzbee. In addition, one current employee of the firm caught on video 2 different men with tripods taking pictures of and around his house. Particular descriptions of some of these encounters are detailed in affidavits filed herewith as Exhibits E through L. In some instances, the investigators' behavior amounts to mere harassment. For example, investigators contacted certain former clients or witnesses on firm cases and aggressively sought salacious information about Mr. Buzbee or the identity of other firm clients. In other instances, family members of clients were repeatedly contacted, and in some cases, family members of Mr. Buzbee or other firm employees were contacted by investigators seeking salacious or controversial information. In other instances, the investigators' behavior turned explicitly tortious. For example, several investigators represented to former and current firm clients that they were part of an ongoing investigation into the firm or investigating fraud potentially committed by the firm, or otherwise were part of an investigation into fraud in Texas, and they had questions about the firm. These statements implied that the firm and its attorneys had committed fraud, and also that the firm was the subject of an actual, i.e., legitimate investigation. The most egregious conduct was both tortious and illegal. Solicitation and barratry. Here we go with this barratry thing. Committed for the purpose of filing false lawsuits against the firm. As part of defendant's conspiracy to undermine and injure the firm, investigators began soliciting the firm's current and former clients, asking those clients to sue the firm. The investigators used burner phones. So if they use burner phones, how is it being traced back to these law offices? Who would register a burner phone with their law office? That doesn't add up to me. But maybe I'm the one that don't know how to do shit right. Many times the investigators used fake names or flashed badges or credentials, but would not let the client see them. During some of the contacts, the investigators were pushy. In at least 2 instances, they pretended to be acting on behalf of the state of Texas. In numerous cases, the investigators offered the firm's clients money, payments of up to $10,000, if they would agree to pursue claims against the firm. Several of the investigators' calls or interactions were caught on either camera or tape. In most instances, the investigators were careful not to disclose on whose behalf they were working, for good reason. The defendants here did not want to disclose their participation in the flagrant violation of Texas law, but in one case, the investigator was caught as described below. Before I move forward, I'm going to go ahead and I don't believe shit this nigga talking about. I don't give a fuck. If you want to be mad at me, be mad at me. If you want to see Jay-Z go down, that is your prerogative. That is your thought process. I will not argue with your thought process. But if you're asking me my thoughts, as this is my video on my channel, I think Tony Buzbee has set up a fucking, what do they call this shit, a coup? I personally believe Tony Buzbee has sent out people to show up at his family members, former clients, and clients' homes. I think this is completely orchestrated, because you're telling me that y'all got all this Ring camera footage, but now you're telling me that this was captured on audio tape. So now we don't have a face to put with the voice. So we could just say, oh, this is Mr. Garcia, or this is somebody said, I work for Miss Miley, whatever the fuck her name is. And you don't have a face to actually put with it. Then you put names with it. And you say, oh, we got people holding tripods, taking cameras of the home, people you sent out. And we can't put a confirmed identity on those people. But that's just my thought, right? I could be wrong. That's just how I see this. Because it's so convenient that you got Ring camera footage of people coming to people's door, but you ain't got no video, you got audio. Okay. Bitch, I got a Blink and I got video, which is the knockoff. Whatever. They say solicitation of Gerardo Garcia. One such target of defendant solicitation was Gerardo Garcia. Mr. Garcia was a plaintiff in Jones Act lawsuit and hired the firm to represent him. So this is a former client. His case was settled in 2020. He was happy with the resolution of his case and had no complaints with the firm. Nearly 5 years later, after his case had been resolved, not seeking to hire a lawyer or file a lawsuit, Mr. Garcia was contacted out of the blue by 2 investigators. And I also think it's possible that Roc Nation sent private investigators out, but again, that is not illegal. This contact was an illegal solicitation and was made on behalf of and is part of a conspiracy involving, at minimum, defendants Croft, Roc Nation, and Quinn Emanuel. One of these investigators identified herself as Jessica Santiago. These 2 investigators approached Mr. Garcia at his home and flashed a badge. They told Plaintiff Garcia several times that they were from the state. They asked Mr. Garcia if he was unhappy with his settlement from 2020 and whether they could use or see his settlement documents. They were pushy. They followed this up by explaining to him that they were with the state, but could connect him with a private lawyer so he could sue the firm. They told Garcia several times that there was money in this for you. These investigators' requests became increasingly aggressive and hostile. At some point, defendants' agents demanded Mr. Garcia produce his medical records and offered him money to hire a private lawyer to sue the firm. Mr. Garcia ultimately decided to call the firm and report the investigators' conduct. Despite her best efforts in disguising the identities of those she was working for, investigator Jessica Santiago was caught on tape disclosing to Mr. Garcia that she was working for defendant Marcy Croft, the law firm MJ Legal, PA. Okay, so that is what they're claiming. I guess we'll have to find out eventually what anybody's so-called videotapes disclose, but this is what they say, right? Excuse me. Defendants are working together in service of one ultimate client, Jay-Z. There's little question that all of the defendants here are working in concert with each other for the benefit of their ultimate client. The law firm of Quinn Emanuel has for some time been closely affiliated with Jay. Quinn Emanuel also has a long history of outrageous, sanctionable conduct and reputation to match. The Quinn partner in charge of the firm's representation of Jay-Z, Alex Spiro, is also no stranger to controversy or questions about his ethics. Among other things, Spiro has been accused of flashing a badge from his stint as a government attorney for clout. Wow, for clout? Or to obtain entry into restricted locations, and of interviewing victims of Harvey Weinstein while being employed by Weinstein's defense attorney without disclosing that to the women who trusted him with the details of their faces. Okay. Quinn and Spiro's outrageous and unethical behavior continues in this case. When the firm first filed this action and sought a temporary restraining order against Quinn Emanuel, through its counsel, flatly denied having any connection to or knowledge of the investigators that had so quickly inundated the firm's client and employee community. But that was a complete and utter lie. Mere days later, Spiro admitted in a filing in the New York action that Quinn was in fact behind the investigation. Allegations by plaintiff's counsel that routine investigative activities related to pending legal claims and other fora are harassing should be disregarded. Plaintiff's counsel tried to prevent Quinn Emanuel from investigating Mr. Carter's claims of extortion by trying to enjoin the firm from contacting anyone related to the Buzbee law firm. Defendant Marcy Croft is an attorney in Jackson, Mississippi. Defendant MJ Legal is the law firm Ms. Croft purportedly owns. Ms. Croft advertises herself as a member of Team Rock. Moreover, Ms. Croft advertises that she has become actively involved with a criminal justice reform and prison reform alongside Rock Nation's philanthropic arm, Team Rock. She further advertises herself as being involved in numerous litigation actions pending on behalf of Team Rock families and hundreds of incarcerated men. Marcy Croft has worked with Rock Nation for years alongside Quinn Emanuel's Alex Spiro. Croft and firm MJ Legal, close connection with defendants Rock Nation and Quinn Emanuel are further demonstrated in these public posts. So then they keep showing these same ass screenshots that we done seen numerous times. Nothing new, nothing of real value, but whatever. Defendant Lex Intelligence was also identified as being involved in this scheme by virtue of the fact that several phone numbers used to contact various parties described herein were from numbers registered to Lex Intelligence. Again, why would a company that's trying to not be detected use burner phones connected to their company? The investigators using those numbers were acting at the same time in the same general manner and for the same purpose as other investigators in this case. All of the defendants have been conspiring with each other for the common end of causing harm to the firm. The behavior described above goes well beyond purported due diligence into a litigation opponent. It is outrageous, despicable, harassing behavior that is clearly intended to besmirch the name and reputation of the firm, start rumors regarding bogus investigations or business practices, to bother and harass persons associated with the firm in order to apply pressure on Mr. Buzbee and the firm, and to illegally drum up legal cases against the firm for the same nefarious purposes. It is beyond the bounds of decency and the law, and it needs to end. Okay, these are all allegations leveraged by Tony Buzbee against Jay-Z, Rock Nation, Quinn Emanuel, and Marcy Croft, and Lex Intelligence. Okay, so now they say that this is tortious interference. Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs of this petition as if set forth fully herein. At all times relevant hereto, plaintiff had contractual relationships with his current clients. Defendants were aware of plaintiff's contractual relationships with his current clients. By contacting plaintiff's current clients and insinuating, among other things, that plaintiff is the subject of ongoing fraud investigations, defendants have sabotaged and are actively attempting to sabotage plaintiff's contractual relationships and to cause plaintiff's clients to end their engagements with plaintiff. As a result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff has suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Because defendant's conduct was committed with actual malice, plaintiff seeks exemplary damages against defendants. Okay? Tortious interference with prospective business relations. Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs of this petition as if set forth fully herein. Plaintiff's former employees and former clients often serve as referral sources for business to plaintiff. All right. So that now they're saying, if you sully the name of current and former clients, that will also detract other people from wanting to come. They won't give solid references out because of the fraud investigation, blah, blah, blah. We can kind of move past this bullshit. Solicitation and barratry. Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs of this petition as if set forth fully herein. Defendants are attorneys or private investigators with the intent to obtain an economic benefit. Defendants solicited employment with plaintiff's former employees and former clients, specifically with regard to bringing lawsuits on those persons' behalf against plaintiff. Defendant's conduct was in violation of Texas Penal Code, Section 3812. As a proximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Here is civil conspiracy. Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs of this petition as if set forth fully herein. Defendants make up more than two persons who sought to accomplish a goal of committing barratry and soliciting clients to sue the firm and or tortiously interfering with the firm's contracts and business relationships. All defendants had a meeting of the minds on this organized criminal conduct and then took many unlawful acts to accomplish this criminal conduct. As a result, plaintiff suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Because defendant's conduct was committed with actual malice, plaintiff seeks exemplary damages against defendant. Punitive damages. Plaintiff incorporates the blah, blah, blah. Defendant's conduct was committed with actual malice, and as such, plaintiff seeks exemplary damages against defendants. Moreover, because this involves the violation of a criminal statute, no damage caps are applicable to plaintiff's damages. As a proximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff has suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Okay? So at this point, they saying, hey, man, we want that $25 million. You know, it ain't too much more that needs to be said here. So here we have that transcript of Gerardo Garcia and Jessica Santiago. This is an actual phone call that took place of the PI, Jessica Santiago, reaching out to Gerardo Garcia, soliciting what I believe here is a possible class action lawsuit being brought against Tony Buzbee, and basically asking Gerardo if he would like to be a part of the class action, okay? Which I do not believe is illegal, but for those that work in legal, y'all tell me, because here there is no promise of $10,000. It only tells them that there will be money based on the class action case. But y'all let me know. Okay, so here starts with the PI. They say, do you have time today so we can have an appointment to talk and show you the papers you can communicate with the lawyer? Client says yes. They ask what time. He says, look, at 5 p.m. One thing, if I sign that contract, is there some money that you will pay me first? Right? PI says, depends on the lawyer, but what you will sign today is only a contract to investigate, giving permission to the lawyer to conduct an investigation into your case to see what happened and to recommend a separate lawyer more familiar with your kind of case. But she will not charge anything, and the separate lawyer also does not require any money. Only at the conclusion do they take out their fee if they are able to recover the money you are entitled to. They say if they are able to recover. So that's not a promise. It's only letting them know that there is money available if they are able to recover it, right? Client says that lawyer is from the state or a private lawyer. They say it's a private lawyer. We are from the state, right? But it's a private lawyer. That note with the Buzbee law firm was doing, for example, last night, someone signed up with us, and in his case, Buzbee was depositing his checks in Buzbee's private account and not in an account for lawyers. And he was charging them interest and taking that money. And he was stealing the checks from insurance. And so he didn't know that Buzbee was stealing. That was his case. Now, I don't know much about your case, but the lawyer you will speak with today, she will explain that she will open your case, see what happened with you, but your name appeared on the list of people that may have something unusual, and she wants to investigate your case, and then she will recommend someone more familiar with your kind of case to recover all that money. And she said, and they say, and they are from the state. This is Gerardo, by the way. PI says, the lawyer is from here, Texas, and also has a license in New York. Us, the investigators, are from the state, but we are not lawyers. But the lawyer has her license here in Texas and also in New York. Client, that class action is just for certain people who have had cases with that lawyer. They say exactly. With that lawyer, we have 70 people in the class action that had problems because they are frauds with that lawyer, Buzbee. Last night, the man who we spoke with, he has 2 cases because Buzbee was putting his checks in the private checking account, that a criminal case. But he also has a separate case where he can recover the fees that Buzbee owes him. So he has 2 cases. We didn't know that until the lawyer last explained and told him, no, you have 2 cases, one criminal and another to recover your money. Now, we don't know about your case because the lawyer first needs to open your case and investigate what happened with you. So it's possible you have 2 cases as well, depending on what he did to you. And so they say, and so if I sign, there's money, right? They say there's money that will be recovered, of course, the money that you are owed. And you will not need to go to court because there are lots of people in the class action, more than 70 people who have signed up with this lawyer. Client asks, what's the process, to look at some documents first, or do I need to go with the lawyer? They say, no. She will be your lawyer. That's why we are asking for the documents that you have. If you don't have any, she can still do her search and she will read your case that you had with Buzbee and she will look into everything that happened. But it's better if you have documents too. Excuse me. Client says, no, well, I lost all my documentation. This happened a long time ago, so I wouldn't have the documents now. But do I need to go to a lawyer's office, or will you come to my house? They say, I will send you a paper that explains where the lawyer is. It will explain everything in that paper. You can read it, then I can contact the lawyer. Her name is Marcy Croft from MJ Legal, and she will explain more by telephone, but the document will explain what I have just told you over the phone, and you will have your copy. It's just an agreement, so she can investigate more your case to see if there is something unusual, and if so, she will recommend someone more familiar with your case. Because you know there are many lawyers, but she will recommend someone who is more known with this case, like from last night. They ask again, will you charge me anything? No, nothing. The lawyer will have your case. Yes, of course, like always. They always charge a fee. Normally, the lawyers charge 30%. Whichever lawyer you go to, they will charge you, yes. But the lawyer, she will not charge anything at first. She works with us in fraud cases, and then she will recommend someone more familiar. Then at the conclusion of the case, they will charge their part and also pay you your part as well. Client asks, those papers, can you just leave them at my house, or do you want me to go to the office? They say no. That's why I'm asking what time you will be home so we can show you the paper and explain, and we can speak with the lawyer. So the agreement, I can see it. The agreement, yes. Client says. And so this is a class action, a lawsuit of many people. They say exactly. We have like 70 people that are in this class action, and there will be more. You are on the list, but we have other people too. Today I'm visiting with you and with 3 more people who will sign up to be in the lawsuit, and it will increase daily. We have more pages with people. I don't know how many, but there are many. And if there are more people in the class action, that is better for you because that means you will collect something. Client says, what kind of percentage can I collect with this, or what can I? They say that depends on your case because all the cases are different. The document I will show you today explains that it gives permission to open your case and to see what happened, but she will not charge anything for that, but then she will recommend someone familiar. Client says, sorry to interrupt. The lawyer will be present today, or just you? They say me and my partner, but she is working now, but she told me we can contact her at any time. He says 5:30 is fine. They confirm. Any change, and we will call each other. True. This is the client. And what is the name of the lawyer? Pardon? They say Marcy Croft. Okay, from MJ Legal. Okay. PI says, I will give you a copy. You can read it. Good. And you can call her too with us present, and she can explain it better. Client says, what is your name? She says, me. My name is Jessica. Jessica, just Jessica. They say, no, Jessica Santiago. Okay, andale. So I will look at everything at 5:30, and we will be in contact. Very kind. Thank you. So this conversation ended at 10:40. The conversation here begins. No. It was a 10-minute conversation. Got you. 10-minute, almost 11-minute conversation. I was going to say, goddamn. Based on the time here, I'm like, ain't no way y'all was on the phone since goddamn. Hold on. But no. So they spoke on the phone for about 11 minutes. Now, of course, at any time, they could have just hung up. Could have said, I'm not interested, thank you. But they continued to entertain the conversation. I don't see what is illegal about this conversation. But again, somebody can let me know because I'm not a legal professional. So now here we have a sworn affidavit from Tony Buzbee's daughter. Okay. She here says, my name is Elizabeth Ann Buzbee. I'm over the age of 21 and I'm fully competent to execute this affidavit. All of the facts stated herein are within my personal knowledge and are true and correct. I am Tony Buzbee's daughter. I received a telephone call on November 27, 2024 at 9:56 a.m. from an unknown caller. This caller did not identify herself, but called from a New York phone number 332-255-8548. The unknown caller left a voicemail message stating that she was conducting due diligence on the Buzbee law firm and requested I give her a call back at the New York number stated above. I don't recall that being harassment, but again, I am not a legal professional. We've got another affidavit here from Skylar Taylor. They say this instrument was acknowledged before me by means of interactive two-way audio and video communication on December 10th, 2024 by Skylar Taylor. This notarial act was an online notarization with electronic signatures. And they say, my name is Skylar Taylor. I am an adult resident of the state of Louisiana of sound mind and capable in all respects of executing this affidavit under oath. The information contained in this affidavit is made upon my personal knowledge and is true and correct. 3 men from the New York area visited my grandmother's home on multiple occasions, showing up unannounced and demanding to speak with me. I did not know these men and had not solicited them. When I spoke with these men, they stated that they were investigators hired by an attorney to contact clients of the Buzbee law firm to join a class action against the Buzbee law firm. They refused to provide any further information on who they were, what investigation company they worked for, or what attorney hired them. Without knowing any of the details of my case, these men attempted to convince me to file a lawsuit against my attorneys at the Buzbee law firm. These men offered me money to sign on as a client with them. These men stated that they and the attorney that hired them paid a former client of the Buzbee law firm $1,000 to sign on with them as a client and sue the Buzbee law firm. The above and foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief. And I just question, and this is just a general question, if they didn't say where they were from, who they were working for, what investigation company or law firm hired them, how do you know for sure that they were from New York? Just a question. I don't have the answer to it. Here we are with another. My name is Shannon Champagne. 3 men from New York area visited my home on multiple occasions, showing up unannounced and demanding to speak with me. I did not know these men and had not solicited them. When I spoke with these men, they stated they were investigators hired by an attorney to contact clients of the Buzbee law firm to join a class action. Same script here. The men offered me money to sign on as a client. Specifically, they offered me $10,000 in exchange for signing with them as a client. Somehow you knew they were from New York, but you say they didn't give you no type of information about themselves. So these are just a few examples of affidavits. They're not extremely detailed in any way. They're just letting you know that people showed up and asked about Tony Buzbee, asked about them being former clients, and asking if they would be interested in opening up a lawsuit against him. They say they were uncomfortable. They didn't give him any information. They say that they're from New York. I'm still trying to figure out how they deduced that these people were from New York. Was it their accent, or did they explicitly say they were from New York? So I don't know. I can't determine what's real, what's fake, what's lawful or not. But do I think any of this will get Tony Buzbee $25 million? Absolutely not. But y'all be the judge. Let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest, but drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries, stand for my honor. But too raw, no corner, packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.